Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts Super Saiyan 4 VEGETA from Dragon Ball GT. I wanted to review this a lot sooner, but it just didn't come in time, so now I'm reviewing it now. I don't know if it would have made the top 10 list. I don't think so, for a few reasons. Anyway, but it does do some things really well, and we're going to talk about all of it. I'll tell you right now, if you like the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, then you'll probably like this release, though it does have some of the same problems that one had. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, even though I don't think it really matters much at this point, we've seen inconsistency across the board. This is made in the Vietnam factory, just like Goku was, and he does have some of the same problems that Goku had, as I already mentioned. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe our consistency is just turning up inconsistent products. It's consistently happening. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a height measurement. Not counting his hair, he's about, let's say, 12.5 centimeters for scaling purposes. That'll make him about 5 inches. Of course, the hair is a lot taller, but overall height is kind of useless unless you're trying to jam him into a Tupperware container for some reason, which you probably don't need to be doing. Here he is up against Darwin. Even including the hair, he's a little bit shorter than Darwin. If you're counting actual scale, he's only about 0.7 Darwins. He's pretty short. Alright, now it's time for a question of the day. How do you feel? I'm guessing if you're watching this, you're probably a fan, but maybe not. Maybe you're just watching anyway. How do you feel about the Super Saiyan 4 looks for both Goku and Vegeta? For me, I'm okay with it. I'm not in love with it. I don't hate it. I'm just like, it's a thing. It's fine. I like the hair. That's cool. The body covered in hair. Like this hair, I mean. The body covered in hair? I don't know. It's not really my thing. And then the whole GT look for the pants, not my thing either, but it's not bad. I'm still a Super Saiyan 3 fan through and through. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the aesthetic. One thing I love, the shading on the pants. Very, very, very nice. Love that. He also is very bulky, kind of squat, and that's fine. It matches Goku, and the Super Saiyan 4s are drawn that way frequently, so if you don't like them that thick, that's unfortunate. You have a valid criticism, but this is reasonable. I can't say it's a problem with the figure, and I happen to think it looks fine, so that's alright. Paintwork around the body is okay. There's no wash or shading throughout any of the flesh tone or hair. That's unfortunate. We only really get it here in the pants, which does look good, but again, it's unfortunate it's not everywhere else. It's also unfortunate that the face and the chest do not match at all. This is painted, it's kind of like a tanned skin look, and this is not painted, and it's a relatively pale look. Not a great combo, though under certain lighting it may not stand out too much. It is not the same thing at all. They do not match. Pants are shiny. The rest is relatively not shiny except for the forearms, so it's okay overall. The paintwork on the boots is alright, the belt is okay. Let's talk about the faces, and I'll show you the other ones when we get to the accessories, but his face paint is phenomenal. The paintwork for the actual details in the face is some of the best we've seen, if not the best. Same thing for the sculpt work. I love it. It looks absolutely stunning. It's great. Which is weird because right next to that we have some of the worst hairline paint jobs we've seen. It's not as bad on this particular faceplate, but some of the other ones you'll see when we get to the accessories, it's really sloppy. So that's weird. They're usually not sloppy at all with the hairlines, but they are on this one, and it does detract from the figure. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. The only real thing I have to complain about, I would say, other than more paint of course, is that I don't understand why in these newer releases, they're making the hips, the thighs stick out so much. It looks ridiculous. It looks like he's wearing waders. Is that what they're called? Thigh-high boots, if you will. Something. It's the same problem, only Trunks is even weirder, this upcoming Trunks, which I know looks great. Things can look great and also have problems, but also, like, Trunks' things stick out really far like this, but also go up the side, which kind of helps it, but also kind of makes it worse. Just don't do it. You've been making figures without these giant thigh lips for decades. I don't understand why they're doing it. They're so obvious. It's weird looking. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, because this lip right here is very strange looking. Very strange. So I don't get why they did that. Alright, anything else aesthetically we'll talk about as we go, but otherwise it looks pretty good. I'll give it an 8. It looks fine for a Figuarts figure. Could be a lot better though. All right, as far as accessories, let's do the faceplates first. We have the neutral one, comes on them in the package. Then we get the smirk, we get the teeth showing one, then we get the yelling one, and they all look lovely. But pay attention to those hairlines because those look pretty rough. We do get a whole bunch of hands. I'm not going to list them all out. You can see all the hands you could want. We get the hands. And then we do get the world's tiniest little effect part, which is okay. It has a couple little extra pieces added to it, which is a nice little touch. Paint job is questionable. It's okay. Yeah, it's just okay. Can we get some real effect parts, please? Tiny ones, fine, like nice, but can we get some big ones too, please? And that's it. That's it for accessories. It's a light release. So I'm going to go 7 for accessories. Hands are great. Faceplates are awesome. But that's ultimately it. The tiny little effect part is so small. Like, it's better than nothing, but just barely. All right, let's talk about the articulation. Very, very pleased. The head and neck are both on double ball pegs, so that will help you pose him, but also you're not really going to pose that head too much because look at his hair. These guys are on ball pegs. These guys may be hinges. There's 2 of them back here. I can't tell. Are they hinges or ball pegs? They look like hinges. Either way, you're not moving his head much. Even with the neck, even with the hair articulating, it's still pretty limiting, which there's nothing they can really do about that. It'll be enough. Look side to side and be happy, and it'll be okay. We have the new-ish style butterfly joint, which just kind of rocks around. It's alright. I don't think these are the best figures to use it on, considering it doesn't actually offer all that much, and it does break up their weird gorilla hair. So, again, it's a little weird looking like it was on Goku, but it's okay. The shoulder is connected on a ball peg in there, but you're mostly just going to get your rotation. There's not a whole lot of play. And then you do get the arm up to the side. So that works pretty well. I'll take that. It works better than a lot of their figures, and it looks pretty good. If you're not up close, you're not going to notice the weirdness in the cutout for the butterfly, unless you're looking at it from the side. All right, bicep swivel is okay, but you can kind of see the peg. It's kind of gappy and a little bit loose, so that's a little strange. Double jointed elbow works fine, no problem there. Wrists are little ball hinges, that's fine. Nothing special to talk about there. Torso joint, I don't believe there's any hinging going on, and it does lean back nicely. It leans forward, not the best until you use the bottom joint also, and then it's pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, if you give it a little bit of force, you can get him leaning pretty nice using both joints. Then again, leaning back works pretty well using just the top joint. Going side to side, that's pretty good. I'll take that. And then your waist twist happens mostly at the bottom, but also some at the top. The torso's fine. It feels like it's all ball pegs to me. I don't think there's any hinging going on, which is a good thing. I like it. Now for the hips, they're very loose. Front to back, side to side. This one's actually not too bad side to side, but this one is very loose this way. Very, like bootleg quality loose. But it's not loose this way, whereas this one's pretty loose this way. Weird. Alright, so let's look at the range. Full on splits, that's fine. I think they could have not put those nubbins in there. Get his tail out of the way. You can see he's got a little bit of nubbins going on. Look at that. It's so loose. So yeah, we could do without the nubbins, but it's okay. No big deal. And then bring the leg forward, that's fine. Going back, we can't go back because they put the butt cheeks on there. I don't know about you guys. I'm not so big of a fan of the butt cheeks because I don't need them. I don't need him to have butt cheeks sculpted here. I'd rather have the legs go back for a forward back split. There's no need for cheeks. Or just sculpt them onto here, but we are actually cutting range out of the figures that we used to have. So like, very limiting. Kind of a bummer. Man, these loose hips suck. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee, functionally, it's okay. It's not the best range we've ever seen, but here's the thing that really grinds my gears. The bottom half of the knee is sculpted properly. See how the kneecap lump is just kind of smoothly integrated? But then at the top, you can see a harsh line. Hopefully you can tell on the camera. A harsh line where it's separated. So it's just, it's not a big deal, but it's like you did it, just smooth it out. You don't need that weird knee lump. And then it's also pretty gappy. So, could be a lot better, I think. It's okay, but again, could be a lot better. Then for the ankles, we have ball hinges, which I think is a good thing. I want these more often. I want more range, though. These have decent range. They go down nicely. Going forward, it's pretty limited, but you do get a toe hinge, although it's too loose. It's not a bad one, so I'll take it. Again, not bad. Could be better. Ankle rocker is actually really nice, so I like that. So, this release, is it the best ever? Definitely not. Is it good enough? Definitely. I'll give the articulation a 7. It's alright. I think the tail's actually okay. It's just a little ball peg or ball hinge in there, and it moves around well enough, and that's fine. I don't think we need anything special for the tails for these guys, so that's alright. It's going to pose well enough, but you're not going to be able to do some of the things you would want to do, and I think they could have just made it look a whole lot better in terms of the engineering for the articulation. So now it's time for the final verdict. The loose joints bother me a ton, and everything else I can kind of live with personally. You guys can decide for yourselves how you feel about that. I guess not this either, but I'm going to have to live with it. I don't like these giant lips on the legs. Don't like that at all. Don't like the loose hips. I can live with the paint issues and all that other stuff. The rest is fine with me. Personally, I like the figure a whole bunch. Objectively, there's a lot that's holding me back, but it's still solid. So I'm going to give it a final rating of 7. The loose hips are a real problem. That's going to kill posing. If you have loose hips, you're going to have trouble posing this guy. Like, he's actually floppy. So that's not good. So yeah, I'm going to stick with a 7 out of 10. It could be a lot better, and it looks like it is a lot better, but then once you get into the nitty-gritty, you're going to notice the things. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about the figure in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about the video by giving it either a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. In the meantime, keep collecting.